Hello, hello. How are you? Kinesiology 234 here, and this is session number 11, commonly known as your first full week with clients. So I'm pretty stoked about this whole thing, and I hope you guys are as well. With not wasting any time, let's get right to it. So, look at this process so far. Your consultations are done, which is fantastic. I know a couple of you have a few like odds and ends you have to take care of, and I get that. For a few of you, you got some or were able to do some first workouts with your clients, which is also fantastic because you're able to actually get into the process, which is great. And really, what you're looking at now is this is your first full week of workouts with your clients. It is time to get going. And really, you're going to be in kind of this honeymoon stage for a little bit where you're going to be working with your clients and they're still going to be divulging a few things. You're going to talk through a few things. They're still figuring you out. You're figuring them out, how much you can push them, how much are they going to push back on you, and that's just part of this process. But what you have to keep in mind is you're the trainer, you're in control of the situation, you're the trainer, you're the one that has to actually kind of manage the situation. And with that said, you should have some type of plan of attack, right? You shouldn't just have this thing kind of floating around aimlessly and your clients come in, they get a workout, and that's it. Now, there should be, from the initial consultation, some concept of what they're trying to accomplish. And there's also, from that consultation, the two of you should have talked about what was an overall strategy to help the client meet their goals. I tend to think of this in terms of like micro, meso, and macro, very much like planning and cycle types when you talk about strength and conditioning. I look at it in terms of goals and planning on a short, medium, and longer term kind of scale. And the shorter term scale can quite frankly be the workout that you're doing today or the two workouts you're going to do this week with your client. The big thing you're looking at is when a person comes in from their workout, you have to kind of assess their preparedness, their preparedness and readiness to actually complete a workout. And that comes from, did they get enough sleep? Are they properly hydrated? Have they had enough food? Are they up and about it? They've been moving around all day? Have they had any possible injuries since the last time you met with them? And really, what's in their headspace? Are they ready for the workout? So for some individuals, they come in at 5 o'clock in the morning. Most of those people are pretty dialed in. They're morning people and they'll have their routines down. But for most of them, they roll out of bed and it's not like they walk around for an hour or so before they come into the gym. So they're up at 4 o'clock and they meet you at 5. They probably might be a little bit dehydrated and probably haven't had nutrition. But for most of them, they kind of have this process dialed in. They know how much they need to drink, how much they need to snack on before they come in for a hard workout at the gym. Somebody comes in at 5 o'clock at night, their hydration is going to be different, their nutrition is going to be different, they've been moving around all day, and so it's a little different for them. I will say this, you will have varying degrees, right, of situations with your clients and readiness with your clients. Some people might have had a great night's sleep, but they're poorly hydrated, but they've had food all day. When they were sitting at their desk. They just flew in from LA, they landed in O'Hare, they hopped in their car, they drove over to see you at the training session at 5 o'clock at night. They've been kind of sitting around all day if you really think about it, even though they traveled several thousand miles. Then beyond that, if you think of somebody like their readiness mindset, you might have a client who comes in and they're worried about their daughter, right? Their daughter is at ISU or Indiana, wherever they might be. And as a result, they're there, maybe the daughter is sick and they're worried about their daughter having the flu, and so they're kind of distracted in their workout. So you need to go through these bullet points on the front end of a workout just to make sure your client is ready. And I say this because, and I make a point to say there's varying degrees of readiness because, as I mentioned earlier, somebody might come in, they might have had a horrible night's sleep, but they're properly hydrated and they've had food, but their mind is on something else, and that's why they slept poorly the night before. So those are kind of little things you have to watch out for. And I'll just run through these quick little questions. Okay, how much sleep have you had? Have you had any water today? How about food? Okay, cool. Have you been moving around? Nice. Any injuries? Okay, cool. I know you play in that volleyball league. You didn't twist an ankle or anything. Perfect. And how you feeling today? Ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready to go. Boom, you hit the workout. And I bring this up because I had somebody now about 12 years ago who came in for a session, and he started his warm-up. He was over on a piece of equipment. He was doing some work, and I approached him to start our 5 o'clock session. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was, okay, you ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready to go. Cool. We start to work out. We do a set. And within 5 minutes, it becomes very apparent because he's sweating. He's very lethargic. He said to me, I think I need to take a break. I need to take a moment. So just started. He goes, no, I think I need to take a break. I'm not feeling so well. Okay, well, have have you had anything to eat today? And he goes, no, no, I haven't. No. How about drink? Do you have anything to drink today? He goes, I had a 4-shot latte on my way to work this morning, about 7:30. So let me get this straight. Today you've not had anything to eat at all, and you had a 4-shot latte, and that was it to drink at all. And he had, obviously with a latte, you have some calories in there because of the milk, but that's all you've had all day. Yes, that's correct. Well, maybe we should go. We're walking. We're walking over by the locker rooms. We're getting over in that direction. Tell me a little bit more. I mean, how about yesterday? Did you have dinner? No, no dinner. I had a Big Mac for lunch yesterday. That was it. So this gentleman, in the span of 30 hours leading up to our workout, had a Big Mac and a 4-shot latte, no water, no other food. And while we were talking, his eyes rolled into the back of his head and he started to pass out. I took my hand and pushed it against his chest, boom, pushed him into the wall so he didn't fall over and hurt himself. And I slid him down the wall. And while I was doing so, I yelled to one of the other trainers to grab some juice and some water. And we were able to get some juice on board and some water into the client as well. And that perked him up a little bit. But he went home shortly thereafter, realizing that he needed to take a little better care of himself. So, even with my questioning on the very front end of the session, that little bit of extra stress on his body was enough to put him into shock mode, and he went to pass, and he did, he passed out. Now, the thing is, you can just imagine had he been squatting or doing something with kind of load over top of him, bench press, for example, dumbbell bench press, even worse, right? Dumbbells fall in on his nose and he passes out and he drops the weight on himself. So I urge you to take the time to ask these simple questions on the front end. Have you had enough sleep? How about water? Good nutrition today? Been moving around? Any aches, pains, or injuries? Hey, you feel ready to go for a workout? That quick, that simple to the point, and you know they're good to go. If they tell you no for any of those, then you might want to reassess what they're going to do today. Now, on a microcycle scale, you start to think in terms of what will be the exercise selection, how many sets, how many reps. Are you going to do any kind of mobility work on the front end or any kind of cool down protocols on the back end? And you look at this and you start to plan this out over the course of a microcycle, maybe a week, meaning a workout or 2 workouts within a week. And then you start to plan in what you'd like to do from week to week to week to week. So for example, we know for this week, we have a different requirement, and the requirement for all of you is to use a BOSU for 2 different pieces or 2 different exercises within your workout. And I'm looking for you to, like last week we used TRX, this week I'm looking for you to use BOSU. I want you to think of this in terms of how maybe from a week to week you integrate in small apparatus into your workouts as ways to introduce content to your clients. And with this, now during the week, if you have trouble, you can always go to my YouTube channel. It's just right here. You can click out to that. And this channel right here, this click out will take you to the videos pertaining to BOSU. I think I have 30 of them on there, just simple ones. You can kind of go from there. But what I really want you to think about this is in terms of context, right? So last week you did TRX, this week will be BOSU, maybe next week will be medicine ball, and the week after that you'll do a combination of medicine ball and BOSU or physio ball and some other exercise modality. And how that ties in is, now when you start talking reps and sets and other parameters, it becomes how does that tie into medium-term planning? Are you going to progress your clients? Your client is deconditioned and hasn't worked out for quite some time. Is it 1 set of 15 for the first week and then next week it's 2 sets of 15 and you're doubling the workload? That's totally appropriate. Are you looking at how you're going to progress them over the next couple of weeks going into spring break? I mean, really, you're looking at about 4 weeks until we have that break. So you have a nice little chunk of time where you can show them progress leading into spring break. And to do that, you really have to have a concept of what's a priority and what they're trying to accomplish. And from a planning point, you know what their needs are, you know what they're looking to accomplish, you know what their goals are. You shouldn't lose sight of those because that's what drives the bus, right? That's what's driving you big picture. But you also, for some of them, have to build the habit of just getting to the gym and getting in for a workout. And, take another population of people, as I note to the right here, it's just the introduction of different pieces of equipment. You're trying to introduce them to different pieces of equipment so they can come in and work out on their own. I said it in class the other day, I never want to create a codependent client-trainer relationship. I want them coming in on their own. And to that end, they become a better billboard for me because they're going to be getting better results. So I don't want you to remain stagnant with your week-to-week programming. So from one week it's TRX, another week it's BOSU, another week it'll be PhysioBall. So we know we're forcing you to use different implements and different modalities of exercise. Perfect. But I don't want you to stay stagnant in the rep and set combinations and the exercise selection either. I want you to have good content selection and progress your clients over the next 4 weeks. I'm not saying come in for like heavy singles and doubles a week for spring break, but I want you to be able to progress your clients in a systematic manner. And then in a much bigger picture, you got to realize that you're trying to best launch your client, right? You're trying to launch them after they're done working with you, because your clients are going to work with you for X amount of weeks. And for many of them, their goals go deep into like October, right? I heard somebody talk about having a wedding in October, but they have a finite amount of time with you. So you have to be able to prepare your clients and prep them to be able to work on their own after they're done working with you. Now, granted, some of them may hire you after this, but really what you're after is empowering them to work out on their own, teaching them how to do these things on their own. So when they come into the gym on their own, they're best able to complete these workouts and get the results that they so want. They just need a little bit of guidance. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off from there. Have a good one. Bye.